ミラノ派が分かれば家族療法が見えてくる。ミラノ派の第一人者、パウロ・ベルナンド先生にお聞きします。カウンセラーはクライアントをどのくらい信用すべきですか？カウンセラーは精神疾患を持った人、子供、犯罪歴のあるクライアントの判断力を自然と疑ってしまいます。この疑いをどうしたらいいでしょう？ Counselors tend to doubt the judgment of clients who have mental illness, children, or crime records. What we should do about this doubt?
Well, that's an interesting question because the idea that we have is if a person is a client, any person who is a client, we think this person is in some way impaired. Then, if a person is a child, we think that he's impaired or she's impaired in a way, but also that this person is not grown up enough to have a judgment on things. And if a person has a criminal record, we think this person is unreliable, period. So the idea is we have to produce the change in them rather than helping them to change. And I think this makes all the difference in the world, because if we think we are the one who produce change, it means that we don't trust the client at all. But this creates in the client a sense of helplessness. I'm not able to change. I must wait for this other person, who is the counselor, the therapist, to bring forth the change. What I have observed is that, okay, if you put a lot of effort in trying to change people in the direction that you want, probably you are able to obtain some change in the short run. So, short term, it works. Then, after some months, everything disappears. Why? Because the person has not made the change his or hers. It was just something that came from the outside, and usually people tend to reject what comes from the outside. So we think that the only possibility to do good therapy is to trust the clients. So we have to trust clients. Clients in the therapy room are always reliable. Of course, in order to make them reliable, to help them to be reliable, we have, first of all, to declare our trust. So we must be open. We are together in a collaboration, a collaborative enterprise. It's not me, it's us. I don't think that the therapist is simply there to be a presence, a witness, and the client does all the work, all the job. No, it's a collaboration. I put something, you put something, and together we reach a different level. One thing that has been observed, for example, by people who worked a lot with children in family therapy, was that sometimes children are the most reliable part of the family, because the grown-up, they have a position to protect, maybe they have some secrets to protect, whereas children simply speak openly. So there are some colleagues. I don't work a lot with children, but I have colleagues that work on them, and they say, it's important to have a conversation with the child, because sometimes the child help us a lot to disclose what's going on in the family, and so it can be the most precious ally within the family. As far as people with a criminal records, of course, if they are in a trial position, in jail or in a judgmental setting, of course, they will try to lie to protect their own position. So what I want to clarify is we are on a different level. So in therapy, nothing that you say in therapy will be used against you, except if you unveil that you are going to commit a crime. In this case, I have, of course, to go to the police. But apart from that, it usually doesn't happen in the therapy room. you can be open because you will not be judged for that, because we are not here to judge. I don't. It doesn't mean that I don't think that judgment is useful. Judgment is very useful in a judicial setting, but in therapy we are not in a judicial setting, and so we can abstain from judgment and trying to help the person. At that point, the person becomes reliable because we are together on the same, we are on the same level and we have the same goal. I cannot be certain that the person is actually reliable, but I act as if he or she is, because otherwise I'm not doing therapy, and so it's better to stop. So I think so we have to act every time as if the person was reliable, and at that point we can get from this person very good results. But the results can also only come out from collaboration, because if the person doesn't want to collaborate, we are doing something, but it's not properly counseling or therapy. If you think I want to do that in order to influence you to do something that you don't want to do, this, in my opinion, is not therapy. It's something different, can be done, but it's not interesting from my point of view. My point of view is I try to bring forth a therapeutic change, and the therapeutic change can only come if the person is convinced that this change is meaningful, meaning that the change must come from the client. So yes, so my solution to this dilemma, of course, is always a provisional solution. Sometimes I also become doubtful. Have I got to trust this person or not? But I try always to put myself in the position of saying, okay, I trust this person, and from that something useful can always come out.
Thank you, Professor Bertrando. It was very interesting.